everyone, and welcome to today's episode on the Fashion Fables podcast. Today, I am welcoming Sophie, fashion blogger from Amsterdam. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
So let's get started. Sophie, if you can start by telling us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So I am 25 years old. I'm originally from Sweden. And right now I study strategic management at the Erasmus University in Rotterdam, but I live in Amsterdam. So right now I'm busy with writing my thesis and doing my electives at my master program.
Awesome. I love that. So what inspired you to create your personal blog and what are some goals you have with it?
I think way back when I started, I actually started with an actual blog. I know you refer to blog as Instagram as well.
Yeah.
But that was just because I've always really been into writing, and that was for personal reasons, just to put down my thoughts and just put stuff on paper. And then back then it was a way of sharing what was going on in my world, more out of like an egoistic point of view, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And also I think that a lot of people are just dragged into kind of creating content for that's something that everyone is doing, and they expect certain content to be put out there just based on what you think other people will like. So right now for me, my goal is just to kind of give back, because I realized that I think you can easily be trapped in what you expect others to like and not really put stuff that you actually stand for. So I think right now my goal is to create content that inspires people to be the best version of themselves, whatever that is for them. And I dream about creating a community of women and men who can come together and inspire and empower each other.
Yes, I love how you said to kind of create people to become the best versions of themselves, because that's a lot of my purpose too. Like I feel like you were saying, I feel like there's so many content creators out there. And so it's kind of hard sometimes to be like, oh, well, which one should I follow? Which one's content do I resonate most with? But I kind of just think you have to put yourself in the shoes of like, would I be friends with this person? Like, is what they're sharing kind of making me still be my best version of myself, or is it giving me like the ability to compare myself? Because social media can be great. My favorite part of it, I would say, is like the networking aspect, but it definitely can be hard sometimes where you just start like scrolling and you compare yourselves to other content creators and stuff like that. So I think it's best to just like remain true to yourself and to post what you really like, because sometimes it's like nerve-wracking to hit post because you're worrying about, oh, how many likes am I going to get? Is how many accounts is this going to reach? Is it going to be on the explore page? Just like all these things that really don't matter, because like if you're posting for yourself because you really enjoy it, then it will do good because you're being yourself. So
exactly, I agree. I think if you have the right intentions, it's just going to reach your group of people, and it is really scary. And I think that for me, I kind of came to a point where I thought, okay, but what do I like to see? And then that's kind of where I started realizing that I might not be into the same things that people generally my age or my closest group of people were into. So then I thought, okay, I'm just gonna try and share whatever it is that I like to see, and then see the response. And I think that it's really people can detect if it's true, if it comes from like
genuine.
a genuine place, or if it's something that you put out there because you think that's what people want to see. So I think that people really appreciate your genuine self, and I think when you do that for yourself, it feels so much better. And also when you get response on the truth that is you, that is just something else, I think.
I agree. And I can really tell between, I know it's hard because like I won't actually know the person, but I can kind of tell by their captions, the way they're posting. And I don't know, sometimes people just always feel the need to comment like so gorgeous or like whatever on your pictures. But like if you don't mean something, then you know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes I could just like see, but I think what you were saying is really important. Like you do it for yourself, but when people are reaching out saying like, oh, like I really appreciate your honesty and stuff like that. It's an amazing feeling to know that you're touching so many different people from all around the world. So it's awesome.
Thanks.
So, how has your experience been on Instagram, and have you found a positive community of people who have similar fashion or show genuine support to your content? This kind of goes hand in hand with what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I love my followers. I truly do. And I think you can say that, but I really do love my followers. I have such a big appreciation for every single one of them. We have so many interesting conversations.
Mhm.
And I appreciate the fact that they're challenging me to think in new ways because I have educated, intelligent, um, you know, people following me. And sometimes we don't agree, and that's totally fine, and it's just a way of learning together. And I think that's what makes it so beautiful with social media, that you can also choose which people you want to follow and who gives you energy. And then I have no problem with saying that if you don't agree with my thoughts or lifestyle, you are more than welcome to unfollow me. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna hold a grudge, you know. It's not um going to make me sad, or I'm not going to be offended by that. It's just like the way life works. I think everyone comes from a different place and have a different standpoint. And yeah, I think it's just um, you can make what you want of it. And I think that what is dangerous with social media is that you have kind of such easy access to everyone's lives,
Mhm.
that when you don't agree, or when you um, are in a bad place as an individual, it's easy to just absorb too much stuff that you're not ready to hear.
Yeah.
Um, so if something doesn't resonate with you, you should just simply unfollow. It's that easy. But yeah, I love my followers. To come back to your question,
Oh, that's
we quite
awesome.
recently just started a group chat that's
Mhm.
talking about um, health and workouts and just empowering each other. It's right now 260 girls in the WhatsApp group, and it's just an ongoing conversation about anything from podcasts and books and what workout clothes brands to purchase and why. You know, it's just heaven and earth and everything
Oh.
in between. So it's awesome.
That is awesome. I don't know many creators out there that kind of, it's like one thing to post and be somebody on social media, but also like there's always a person behind the account. And so it's so nice that you kind of connect with your followers on a deeper level and are offering that. Like that was like amazing to hear because you know you're inspiring other people and you don't even know it, and it's just a way for people can feel alone or lonely, but to know they have this community that you've created is very heartwarming, and I'm sure they really appreciate that. That's awesome, and that's definitely so creative. Like I really, like I said, I've never heard of many people doing that, so I love.
Yeah, it was actually an idea of one of my followers, so I'm not even going to take credit.
Oh,
We started talking about doing a health month in February on my story, together with one of my close friends, Hilda. Uh, and one of my followers gave me the suggestion, and then we thought we were choosing between making a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group, but then we thought it's more interactive and easy with an actual chat. So yeah, it's super cool.
yeah, awesome. I love. Um, so what is your personal fashion style, and how do you like express yourself through what you wear and kind of just be unique?
Yeah, I'd say my style is quite classic chic, if you want to put a label on it.
Mhm.
Um, but also, I guess, like the typical effortless Scandinavian style with a touch of sporty.
Okay.
um, so I think my signum definitely is like that I prefer quality pieces. Um, and I look more at what fits my figure rather than what's trendy. I go a lot of into basics and natural colors that will go with anything, and contradictive to what you can see right now, like a hot red sweater. But this is literally the only sweater I have with the color. And I think my style reflects my person in a way. I like to believe that I'm quite grounded, thoughtful, comfortable, and a bit sporty, of course.
Oh, I love that. And it's so funny because I honestly feel like similar. Like I love neutral fashion, like browns, beiges, all that stuff. I just think you can never go wrong with it. You can mix and match it in a million ways and you can still find new outfits. And I also agree with the quality over quantity thing because like everyone has different shapes and stuff like that. And so sometimes it can be like pressuring like on social media when you see, oh, like this new trend is out, this new trend, because you sometimes like just want to buy it because you see everyone else buying it. But like if you are practical about things and grounded, like you said, you will understand that like you shouldn't just buy something because other people are, if it's just gonna like sit in your closet and not really be like worthwhile. So I think that's a really important tip to kind of buy what you know you're gonna wear rather than what you think other people want to see you wear and stuff like that, because you should be happy with what you're wearing and how you present yourself in the best way possible rather than what other people kind of say about it.
Exactly. And I think also from a sustainability standpoint, obviously, fast fashion is a big
Yeah.
um, do not. And I think just having a long-term perspective as well of what your style is that kind of represents who you are just gives you like keeping that overview of your life as kind of a long book. And then um yeah, I don't know how to put that in a good way, but just keeping that overview, I think that your style should just represent who you are as a person, and that person doesn't really change.
Yeah.
um yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like what you wear kind of should be who you are all the time. Like you shouldn't like change based on, different fashion trends and things like that because I see so many people wearing so many different things and I like the way it looks on them, but personally I might not like the way everything I see looks on me. And so I think kind of just individuals should be more aware of that like it's okay if something doesn't look the same on you because you're a different person and you shouldn't like want it to look the same because you are your unique self and you want to I kind of see it more as like be a trendsetter rather than following others. Like if you like someone's idea or outfit, like you can have it as inspiration, but I never like to be a copier or things like that because being original is how you stand out. And if you want to be a leader and if you want people to look up to you, you have to do things kind of differently. And that kind of goes in hand with not being afraid to be different in your fashion, what you wear, and just the way your confidence and how you present yourself, I think are all important aspects of who a person should be.
Exactly, I totally agree.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you could choose one staple outfit to wear to go out, kind of like what would it be? Like what would be your like go-to like to go out?
Definitely a feminine power suit. It's comfortable and stylish, and it works if you've been working in the office all day and just want to go out for drinks. And even in the club, I have no problem wearing a suit in the club. It makes me feel feminine and masculine and powerful and sexy and
Yeah.
all of the above at the same time. So that's my go-to for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, like whatever, if you feel confident, then you should rock it and like whatever.
Yeah.
So, if you could, like just what is some insight if you can just explain some fashion in Amsterdam and how people mainly dress, if there's any trends going on. I just kind of like to learn about what it's like in their country.
Yeah. Uh, it's quite funny actually. When I first came here, there was a lot of animal print going on that I reacted to. I think in general, my experience is that Dutch fashion is a little bit more expressive than Scandinavians. Obviously, I'm talking from my own standpoint.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I think that's what I have to say. I think it's quite similar to Scandinavian, but just a little bit more expressive. They also wear a lot of hats, literally all kinds of hats, and lots of jewelry is what I
Okay.
see.
Is it more like gold jewelry? And do people like to dress up more, or do you see more people in like laid back? Because I know like in the United States, like a lot of people just like to be casual and comfortable, but I'm like the opposite. And so I just want to hear like what it's like for like a typical day out, like do you see people more in comfortable things or more dressed up? Like what do you think?
So for jewelry, I think it's both gold and silver. I think it doesn't really make a difference. I think that's individual as well. Um, but in terms of dressing up or dressing down, I'd definitely say for Amsterdam specifically, it's very much comfortable, relaxed. Literally, no one's wearing high heels, even on a night out.
Okay.
I think that's different maybe for Rotterdam. Maybe I have to be honest, I haven't been out there, but for Amsterdam, it's very laid back actually. Yeah,
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Because well, I've been to Amsterdam once, like I visited and I absolutely loved it. But it just seems like everyone has like really good taste and style and just people know how to put themselves together and present themselves well. And I really admired that about the city because I personally like to put myself out there in the best way possible. Like, even if I'm having a bad day or whatever, like, you don't really like show it because, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know who you're interacting with, and you kind of always just want to look your best. And even if you're not having the best day, because everyone goes through struggles and bad days. So I just always admire that. So I just think it's super interesting to kind of see the differences in countries and fashion
yeah,
and how they kind of go hand in hand.
yeah. I think that's a really interesting uh, point, and I think that in general, at least my experience is that the Nordic countries are quite, like you say, they are well put together and always presentable. And I don't know where that comes from exactly, but I agree. I think that the Netherlands, you could categorize that as like Northern Europe. So it's very similar to where I come from, and where I come from, it's people care a lot about their looks, and that's both on good
Yeah.
and bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I know. I think there's like a level that you should go. Like, I feel like I'm a perfectionist. So when something goes wrong, I get like upset or I'm like, my life's falling apart. But really, it's not. And like, because everyone goes through it. And I just think you need a good balance. Like, yes, like focus on yourself and stuff like that, but like life isn't all about obviously like your looks and stuff like that. So kind of just like focus on being a good person. I think that's the most important thing. And if you're a good person, then people will want to be around you and you will be, I know it's like weird, but people will like find you attractive if you are kind and sweet and nice and you're genuine. So
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think everything that's external is just a bonus. I think it all starts on the inside. I think all your vibrations that comes from your person is just a million times more important than how you dress and how you present yourself. So I couldn't agree more.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, no, same. I think that was so good to kind of like talk about and how we ended up here because it's important. I feel like not enough people like kind of talk about that. And so people get down on themselves because of a picture of someone else, but you're your own person. So I think you should just embrace all of it. So
Yeah.
so what is some like advice you have for anyone looking to take their fashion to just the next level and find out better ways to mix and match their clothing and just any fashion advice you would share?
Yeah, I think again, that's a great question. Um, and I would really like to challenge people to fit their figure and person. So to me, that's sports clothes with the classic look. So for example, just tights with a blazer and coat because it's comfortable and chic and sporty and all of that. So I'd say to first check with what you feel comfortable in. So if that's a pair of jeans or suit pants or skirts or whatever makes you feel comfortable and confident,
Mhm.
and then take it in a direction that takes it a bit further to express who you really are. Um,
Okay.
and to me, that's sports is a big part of who I am, and um, yeah, it's hard to give advice because I can just talk from my own perspective, but I hope it makes sense to anyone who's listening, that just go to yourself. Don't look at what you expect other people to like, and too much about what's trending. Just look to what you think is comfortable, what makes you feel confident, and then just make your own twist that goes with your everyday life. And like you said earlier, you're not like everybody else, so don't dress like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I think it is pretty difficult, but I like to ask my guests this just because everyone has a different outlook on fashion and kind of what it means to them. Like everyone has different, slightly different styles. Mainly, a lot of my guests do like that neutral, minimalistic look, but there's also some that like, more colorful items and stuff like that. So I just think it's interesting to like learn about that. And um, what you said is super true because like honestly, I can't tell you what to wear and like vice versa because everyone's gonna like different things and stuff like that. So it's awesome to kind of get inspiration from like Instagram, and I love Pinterest. I find like so many cute ideas. But at the end of the day, it's kind of up to your creativity and your mindset to style to see what makes you feel best. I feel like your environment is definitely a factor that plays into it because like you kind of see what your friends wear and stuff like that. You see what's in the stores around you. But I just think it's important to kind of just stay focused and find what works best for you, basically.
Yeah.
And so, finally, Sophie, what are some ways that my listeners can kind of get in contact with you, follow you, or just keep in touch?
So for now, my main and only channel is my Instagram, and that's Sophie Nordenhed. Sophie Nordenhed, in if you want to explain it in English or pronounce it in English. Um, so yeah, feel free to follow me there and send me a DM about whatever. I really try to respond to everyone. And now that we've opened this community for health, motivation, and inspiration, just feel free to tag along. We are a wonderful community of girls and women around the globe, literally at this point. So it's super fun. So we're welcoming anyone who's into those kinds of things.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I had so much fun.
Thank you.